In today's cursive lesson, I want to talk about lowercase letters. Before we jump into it, let's do some warm-ups. If you missed my video on doing some writing exercises and its benefits, please go check it out. Otherwise, let's just jump right in. I'm going to start with what I call my ripples. I'm going to do a few of those. Okay, I'm going to do what I call my hills. Okay, then my bigger ripples, which I call waves. I know my names are kind of cheesy, but that's how I remember them. Okay, oh, forgot to finish that one off. Okay, and then last but not least, mountains. As a reminder, you don't need a lined piece of paper to do these warm-ups. I just like to use the line template for demonstration purposes, but if you would like a piece, or not a piece of paper, if you would like a template that's lined with these same blue and red colors, I'll provide a link in the description below. All right, so warm-ups are done. Let's just go right into it. Today we're going to talk about the letters I, T, R, and S. Instead of going in order, I've grouped the lowercase letters according to similarities in shape and also the ease of connectivity. So we're going to start with the letter I. The letter I basically follows the same sort of direction as our little ripples there. So we're going to start at the bottom line, come up to the midline, come back out, dot. Okay. Fairly simple. Okay, next letter, the letter T. Rather than stopping at the midline, you're simply just going to go up to the top line and then you're going to cross. Okay, notice how unlike printing, where we would normally cross our T's in the midline, for cursive, you want to cross just a little bit higher than that. You definitely do not want to cross your T's too low, like down here, and you don't want to cross it too high, like up there, right? Pick a spot and stay consistent. That's why we want to practice this. And you know, when you're sort of doing these drills, this is a good time to sort of, play around with the different heights. Do you like it a little bit closer to the midline? Do you like it a little bit closer to the top line? Right, again, generally, I think, you just want to be consistent. I personally like it closer to the midline or maybe even there. That's sort of my default position, right? All right, not too bad. Let's keep going. You guys are doing great. Let's go to the letter R. So you're going to start just like you're going to do an I, except now you're going to do like two little arms, I guess, if you want to call them that. Notice how the first arm touches the midline, but the second one is below the midline, right? Okay, try to avoid hitting the same line for both arms like I did, okay? You want one to be a little bit higher than the other. You want the first one to be higher, ideally. Okay, there are some people who put a little bit of a loop in that first arm, which I think is beautiful, right? I mean, it's all about self-expression. If you'd rather put the loop at the bottom, right? I've seen some people do that as well. I think, honestly, for, practicality reasons and, it's just a personal thing, right? You do what you like, what you're comfortable with. I tend to just keep it on the simpler side. Try a couple more. Okay, and we're ready to go to the next letter, the letter S. Okay. All right, I want to talk about what not to do, and I think that will better illustrate what to do. Okay, what I don't want you guys to do is do the curve early on like that, right? I want it to look kind of more like a teardrop where the fatter side of the loop is at the bottom and not at the top, almost like a little belly at the bottom, not at the top. So again, don't do it like that, okay? Instead, try to actually make it skinnier at the top and fatter at the bottom, okay? So practice that just a couple more times till you get comfortable. Okay, all right. We can actually start to put words together just with these couple of letters. Okay, let's put the word stir together. Okay, I'm gonna write the letters out individually first. As you guys can probably already see, it's gonna be pretty easy to connect them because they pretty much end and start at the bottom line, right? So when you put them together, you really just gotta write them closer together. Okay. If that seems a little claustrophobic to you, that's okay. You can space it out just a little bit more if you like that. Okay. Some of you might have noticed, even though I didn't mention it, when you write words that include the letters T and I, you want to finish writing the word first before you dot your I's and cross your T's. Okay, look what happens if I try to do it, if I try to cross my T's or dot my I's as I go. Okay, try to pick up where I am. Hope I didn't do my R very well. But see, I didn't do this on purpose, but like just kind of naturally, this is what happens. You can see where the break is in the writing. And so it's a lot smoother when you just go ahead and finish out the word in one continuous flow and then go ahead and do your I's and your T's last. Okay? All right, good job. Let's do a couple more letters. Okay, let's do the letters N and M. Now, unlike the ripples, right, these actually look more like the little hills. These guys right here, right? Okay, let's just try a couple of them. Okay, notice how they stop at the midline as well and then go back down to the bottom line. Okay, you definitely want to try to maintain equal width between or you just want to have equal spaces there. You don't want it where it's like that or where it's like that. You know, maybe if you're doing a signature or something, I can see how you'd want to put a little bit of a, you know, creative twist to it, and that's okay. But as you're learning, again, try to make it uniform throughout. Same thing with your M's, right? And there you go. All right, now let's write a couple more words. How about the word mint? Okay, now again, it helps to kind of write them out separately as you're just learning the letters. And then visualize how they're going to connect. Again, these are fairly easy to connect because they all just start and end at the bottom line. So let's put it together. Connect to make your I. Don't dot your I, just continue with your N. Curve up to make your T. And once you've finished, cross your T's and dot your I. Okay? How'd you guys do? Okay, try it one more time. All right. Great. There are a couple more letters that start and end at the bottom, but I will save that for the next session. You guys did great. I'll see you next time.